No problem. Thanks, John.
No problem. Hi, everybody. How are you? We're just getting started here with, we can see the participants slowly streaming in now. We had a lot of interest in this session. Hi, everyone. I've got Rebecca online here with us from Neil Squire, and she's going to helpfully take us through some of the current assistive technology features that Microsoft 365 has right now. I'm really personally looking forward to this this particular presentation, because I think that it's something that's really, pretty useful for all of us to use, and I use 365 every day. So I'm excited to see what's in store. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, John, just let me know when you're ready to start.
Oh yeah, you can start. We've got people in now, so
Okay,
that you're
awesome.
welcome to start. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks. So, welcome to Microsoft 365 Assistive Technology. I'm happy to be here for your Fireside Chat. My name is Rebecca Kant. I am a Special Projects Coordinator in the Atlantic region for Neil Squire, and I also coordinate our New Brunswick Assistive Technology Help Desk. So I would like to start by telling you a bit about Neil Squire. Here's an image of him on the right. At 21 years old, he was in a car accident. He suffered a brainstem injury, which left him paralyzed from the neck down and had difficulty speaking. So what happened was Neil's family, along with a number of professionals, worked together, and they developed actually a groundbreaking technology which allowed Neil to speak through a computer. And the image on the right shows Neil using a sip and puff device. The straw goes to his mouth, a sip and a puff, breath in, puff out, allowed him to communicate with Morse code, which was then transcribed to text. So after Neil had passed away, the group that had formed to develop this technology decided that they would create the Neil Squire Society in his name in order to keep improving the lives of people with disabilities through technology. So we are a Canadian national not-for-profit organization, and our work is focused in 4 areas that you see here on the screen listed: innovation, digital literacy, employment, and assistive technology. So today our Fireside Chat is about Microsoft 365 and the assistive technology features that are available. So this was called Office 365 not that long ago, and now the name is Microsoft 365. We're talking about built-in technology, and we like to work with built-in technology with individuals for a number of reasons. First of all, if you're already using a device and a software, you're familiar with it. It reduces the time spent learning new assistive tech. As well, if you are using the software or device in your classroom or at work, you know it's compatible. Your colleagues might be using it, your professor, your teacher is already using it. And really the third thing I should have on the screen is cost. If you've already got a device or software that has the tools that will allow you to complete a task, use those first before looking into having to spend money to purchase something additional. So we're going to be doing a live demo today. I've got a few slides, but I'm going to just touch base on what our live demo is going to be on. So first, I'm going to be showing you a few things you could be doing to customize your own digital environment. It's got to work for you. Or got to work for the individual. We'll look at displays, menus, and I always mention for Windows, ease of access settings, and of course for a Mac, system preferences. Lots of things that you can adjust to your settings there. So I've got on the screen a few tasks that are common in school, in the workplace. There's writing and reading, organization, communication, and doing all those things when you're on the go. So if you're not in your office and you need tools to be able to help with those tasks. And what happens is with assistive technology, we follow Joy Zaballa's SET framework, where you look at the individual and then their environment and then the tasks that they're doing, and then you would apply the tools for those tasks. The tasks are either ones that they're having difficulty with or they're unable to do without tools. So Microsoft has a number of tools. I've listed a few on the screen that we're going to take a look at, and there are many more. And I'm keeping an eye on the time, and I'm just going to kind of go through, you know, the ones that we can while we've got time. So I'm going to do another screen share here, and I think I'm going to start in Word. So I'm just going to share my computer sound as well, so just bear with me, and I think you can see that. Now, I have gone into my ease of access settings and changed a couple of things for this presentation. So my mouse pointer I made really large, which is great for visual, okay? And I also made the cursor a little wider. So that was in my Windows ease of access settings. So I'm in Microsoft Word. I don't know if you guys can give me signals to make sure that you're seeing this correctly. You know, I don't know if there's any thumbs up on the webinar platform. I'm used to the Zoom meetings platform. Okay, so
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you. Sorry, I'll
right.
take that role for everyone.
Thanks, John.
No problem.
Okay, so a couple of things that we could do overall in customizing my digital environment. So here we've got a colorful display of Word. I may be somebody who gets distracted with that color and I need to really focus. So I'm going to go into File, down to my account, and I'm just going to show you that you could change your theme. I'm going to go with dark gray for this presentation. So when I change that in my account, you can see now my screen is no longer the blue. It's a much more softer, you know, if I need that contrast to see the white screen and the gray is less dominant. When I change that in my account, it changes it across all of my Microsoft apps. Another thing that I've done here to customize mine, and sometimes we do this with students, I don't know if you notice, and I've got a lot of menus across the top, but I actually have a menu that's my name. So I customized that. And I put a few tools in here that maybe I would use frequently. Okay, so I made my own menu, and that can be really helpful for someone who's struggling with finding the tools that they need to use, either remembering where they are. You know, you can customize your whole menu environment there. Let's see. Okay, let's start talking about writing. That was one of the tasks that we had listed. We all are doing, you know, some form of that, usually in the workplace, personally, or at school. So the biggest, you know, biggest change, I guess, recently is that Office 365, Microsoft 365 makes dictate so readily available. So I'm in my home menu. Here's the nice big microphone with dictate. Okay, I'm connected to the internet for this. I'm going to turn it on and just do an example here. Good evening. Welcome to the Fireside Chat as part of Enable Ottawa, period, new line. I'm really excited to be here presenting to you today, exclamation mark. So I pressed dictate. I paused for a moment to make sure that dictate was active, and then I said what I wanted to say, and look at that. I mean, it's great. Excellent recognition of my voice. I haven't even trained it yet, you know, to recognize my tone of voice, my accent. It's got some punctuation commands. So you saw I did period, a new line, and exclamation mark. So there's probably, I don't know, 10 or so different punctuation commands you can use. So dictate is great for someone who needs support for speech to text in a limited fashion. So this is not operating my computer hands-free, but if I have dyslexia and I need support with getting my words properly on the page, whether it's in Word or in Outlook or in PowerPoint, I can use dictate to do that. Okay, let's see, what else did I want to do? I wanted to show you the focus. This focus allows you to concentrate on what you're putting into the screen when you're writing. So I am going to type something here. Okay, so that's focus. Some people like that. You know, it takes away all the menu. I'm going to restore back down to my screen. And now let's look at some other tools for writing. So I've done a bit of writing here. Now I want to check it. And so I'm going to use Microsoft's Read Aloud, which is such a great feature for hearing what has been written. Now you can use this as a proofing tool, or you can use Read Aloud as a tool to read a document that someone else has given you. Now, if I knew I wanted Read Aloud and I didn't know where to go for that, I could type it in search. I really like that Microsoft has done this because remembering where a command is can be difficult. And you may remember what it's called or what it does, so you can search there. So if I click on Read Aloud.
Good evening, welcome to the Fireside Chat as part of Enable Ottawa.
Okay, I don't know if you noticed because my screen is gray, but my controls popped up here on the right. So I've got a go back, go forward, play, and I've got some settings here where I can change the voice to a male, female, or I can adjust the reading speed. I'm going to leave it where it is for now. Okay, so I'm playing back. This is actually under the review menu. If you're wondering which menu it falls under, there's the Read Aloud here. Now I'm going to put my cursor, so I can put my cursor where I want it to begin reading, and I'm going to listen to what I wrote.
I am having a food day.
Oh, wait a minute. I realized I put I am having a food day. Okay, so now you go back. You do have to go back, and correct things, any mistakes that you've made by typing. In Dictate, you can't go back like you can in Dragon and say, correct that. Dictate is just taking your speech and turning it into text, but it's fantastic. Okay, let's look at one last tool for writing that I like to use as well, and that's the editor. It's also in the home menu. So you can check your editor and it will open up suggestions for you. So it'll look at if you have any spelling corrections or grammar. It's telling me here that I need to correct something in my formality. Well, I guess the I''M that I used for I'm is casual. So it's telling me if I want to be more formal in my writing, I should change that to I am. Okay, so that's the editor. So those are some of the key tools that I like to encourage people to try out when they're using Microsoft Writing Supports. Now, I would like to take a look at the Immersive Reader, and I'm going to look at it here in Word. So we're switching out to the task of reading. Now, we could use the Read Aloud, which I just showed you here. I'm going to close that Read Aloud for now. And I'm going to show you the Immersive Reader. So Immersive Reader is available across several of the apps. So it is in Word, and we're going to have a look at it in OneNote as well. But let's take a look here in Word. It's a little different in each application. So I just clicked on Immersive Reader, and you can see my screen has changed. It's enlarged my screen. It's put a softer color in the background, and I've got some commands here that I can work with. So I'm using this as a reading tool. I need to concentrate and focus on what I'm reading. And this is an excellent tool for the younger age group as well, but can be used across the ages for anyone who needs support in various ways. So let's take a look at what we could do. We could focus in on one line, 3 or 5. So let's take it down to one line. Now I'm focused on the reading. I could show syllable breaks if I was learning the enunciation or a beginner reader and I wanted to work with syllables, or if I was learning a new language, I could use that syllable break. Okay, I'm going to take it off for now. And I do also have the ability to change the page color, but let's listen to it. It's using the Read Aloud in Immersive Reader.
I'm really excited to be here presenting to you today.
Okay, so I'm pausing that. So that's Immersive Reader in Word. Now I want to do a new share here, and I'm going to show you, I think I've got a couple of emails open here. I thought I did. Let's see, I've got to look at a couple more windows here. Yeah, I do. Okay, so I'm going to share an email that I got from Microsoft Ability Summit that I participated in. And I want some support reading my email, okay? So I have a couple of options. I could go right to the tool, which is way down here in Read Aloud, or if I forgot where my Read Aloud was, I could type it in my light bulb search here, Read Aloud, and here it comes up. So I'm going to open up my...
Thank you.
And I'm stopping it quickly because I want to give you some details on what's happening. So my toolbar showed up here and it started reading at the top of the email. I could put my cursor and select the word session and it could start reading there.
Session recordings are available now on the MSFT Accessibility YouTube channel.
Okay,
Please
so I'm
share.
pausing that. And that is the Read Aloud tool in Outlook in an email. Now, let me show you one other email that I've got here that I wanted you to see. Okay, and I'm just sharing that. Okay, this one is in French. So let's take a look. Is Read Aloud going to work for me here?
Bonjour. Merci de votre intérêt pour le webinaire.
And yes, it is. So I'm just giving you a quick sample. I didn't even need to tell it to change languages. It recognized that I was in a French email and read that for me. So those are some reading supports that we find in Outlook. Now, I realize that I'm jumping quickly to things. I have a couple of questions here I wanted to take a look at. Okay, I don't understand how you customized your settings. So I went into my ease of access center, which is not Microsoft 365. I'll just do a quick share here because it's important to me that you see where I got that. So I'm actually going to share my screen with you and I'm going to minimize those and minimize that down. Okay, and just gonna, oh, I've got a lot of windows open, don't I? Okay, I'm minimizing those. So if you can see my screen, I would type ease of access and I could click on any one of these, ease of access, and it brings up a whole lot of different tools that I can work with. So I think I worked in my cursor and pointer and adjusted things there. Okay, so that's just a quick overview. And I'm going to look at the other question here. When dictating, can you ask it to enter the text using the word styles? For example, if you wanted it to be a heading 1. No, so dictate has very limited commands available, and they're more along the lines of punctuation commands. So you do have to have mobility to be able to select different formatting that you're looking for. And then another question regarding the one-line focus mode in Word. Is there by chance a way to automate its shift from one line to the next? Yes. So it actually does that. And because I was showing you such a quick example, I'm going to go back into, I'm going to actually go into OneNote because I want to share Immersive Reader with you in there. So I think you guys are seeing my OneNote now. I'm doing a lot of shares, so I can get myself lost in what screen I'm sharing. John, can you give me a yes if you see my OneNote? Did I lose you? Okay, I'm not hearing your response, John. But if you are seeing, I'm hoping you're
Sorry,
seeing my.
yes, sorry, I
Okay.
am. I was full screen, so I couldn't get to my controls. But
Okay,
yes,
so
we
do
can
you see
definitely
my
see you.
OneNote?
We can, yes, everyone can.
Awesome.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I'm going to open up Immersive Reader here in OneNote. This is an organization app. Fantastic. This is a notebook that I created for a demonstration. So I'm going to go into View, And I'll open up the Immersive Reader here in OneNote. A lot of the tools are similar, but it does look a little different than you saw in Word. Okay, so here I am in Word. I'm going to do a reading preference here to go down to a line focus of one line again. And let's listen to this. I'm going to close that window so it's out of the way.
Grand Prix, Nova Scotia. Grand Prix is a Canadian rural community in Kings County, Nova Scotia.
So that is advancing on its own. The one line moves down and until I press pause, that will continue to advance through the text. I also wanted to show you here, this is really neat. I'm in the OneNote for Windows 10 app, which is for OneNote apps is the one I would direct you to if you're on a Windows laptop. There is a desktop version, but I think the OneNote for Windows has a lot of features.
The other thing about OneNote for Windows, I'll just quickly interrupt to let people know, is that
Sure.
you can actually get that for free. It's not, you don't have to get that as part of the Office suite.
Exactly. And OneNote is a free app. I have it on, I have it on all of my devices. I've got it on my Android cell phone. I've got it on my iPad, and it all syncs across to my account. So I can be at a meeting and I need to take notes, and I can just use my cell phone. If I need to carry something lightweight and not a laptop with me, I can, take images in there. I'll show you a couple of other things. So there's the Immersive Reader, and in fact, this would translate this whole document for me. I just click Translate to French, and look at that. It switched it to French for me, and it's going to read
Grand
it in
Prix,
French.
Nouvelle-Écosse. Grand Prix est une communauté rurale canadienne.
So, that's just fantastic. I'm going to come out of this Immersive Reader in OneNote and just take a minute to show you a little bit about OneNote for Windows 10. As an organizational tool, we encourage a lot of students, people in the workplace who need supports to be able to, whether it's a memory support or organization or prioritizing tasks, OneNote is an incredible tool. You can create notebooks. I've got this one here on grade 12 with different subjects that I'm following and the different pages in here. I can incorporate all kinds of different information into this, so I can use drawing. I can insert videos right from within OneNote. I also have the ability to make audio recordings, which is fantastic. Let's see, what else?
And you can also share your notes and your notebooks with people as well. So if you have members of the family, or you want to sort of build a trip with someone that you're going to go on, you can both be adding things to the same notebook.
Fantastic, exactly, John. And we use it for that reason at work. We share a notebook with a certain team, especially if we're working on a project. So an employer can share a notebook with a team and have things that, staff instructions, updates. In classes, there's a class notebook version where teacher can be sending content to the students, and it's just such a huge tool, real advantage. And we love seeing people use the tools so that they become mainstream. Somebody asked, can it read in other languages? And yes, you saw, I chose French. There are other language options. Okay, how do you format OneNote for printing? You have tools available to print. Let's see. So I do a lot of sharing of OneNote. I'm not printing a lot. So I'm just going to take a peek here to see if I was in a page like, that had text like Canadian history. I've got the tool up here in the top right corner to set to print. And I think it might give me the option to print. Yeah, let's take a look. So it's going to print it like a page like that, almost like you would in an image. So I'm not sure if that answers your question. Sharing is great because you can share it in many different formats. You can share a page, you could share a whole notebook, and you can allow someone to maybe only view the notebook, or you can allow them to edit it. And if you allow them to edit, you will see their initials next to any edits that they make. Okay. All right, I'm just checking here to see if we've answered all of the questions that we have so far, because I know we're short on time here. One last thing I wanted to show you is or at least tell you about, is Office Lens. So if I can share my iPad, I'm just going to wake it up here. Okay, and I've got to get my screen mirroring happening here. So I think now you should be able to see my iPad. And this is an app. I'm going to just unlock here. So this Office Lens app, the L that I'm opening up here, I highly encourage you to get this on your cell phone. It's a free app. Get it on your cell phone, your tablet. So I'm going to show you something cool that this tool can do. So let's say I'm out at a conference and I need to take down some information, or if I have difficulty reading and I need some supports with reading information that someone just gave to me, I'm going to take a photo. It's an okay photo. I say, okay, I'm happy with this. I'm done. And it kind of straightens it out for you, which is great. So you could take a photo from a side angle. Now I'm done with that. And, oh, what's it going to tell me? Oh, you know what? It's going to ask me if I want to go to one. I don't want to export it. I wanted to do something else with this. Did I open the wrong app? I wanted to open it with my Immersive Reader, and it's not doing that right now. So hold on a second here. Maybe I'm in the wrong, I want to make sure I'm in the right app. I think I'm in Office Lens. I am. Usually it lets me send that to Immersive Reader. Okay, maybe it didn't recognize that we had text there. Okay, and I'm done. And it's not letting me, guys. Technology is like that. Usually Immersive Reader comes up as an option, and then I could show you what it's like on Immersive Reader, because it grabs the text from the image. And I may be missing a step here, but I did it a few minutes ago to check, and it worked. So it may just be because I'm on Zoom and it's limiting the options that I have because I'm connecting it through Zoom.
Yeah, that's pretty likely, I would think.
Yeah, I think it might be. So I highly encourage you to check out the Office Lens app. And just as a quick wrap up here, I wanted to just let you know that we do have some resources available in the slides. One of the things I guess I forgot to mention was some of the shortcut keys, but that's, Office has that built in there. If you have any questions about any of this, feel free to reach out to us. Cheryl in our regional office at on.info@neilsquire.ca. If you have any questions for me, you can reach us at nb.info@neilsquire.ca or at the New Brunswick Assistive Technology Help Desk. You can check out our website at www.athelpdesk.ca. And definitely a thank you for joining us. And just not sure if I have any other. Oh, someone said it would probably work in Teams. Right, because Teams is a Microsoft app, so it might show correctly there. But check it out. Check out Lens. I see somebody said it was a fantastic tool. You know what I'd like to see? I'd love to see Office Lens being able to have good handwriting recognition. And I know they're working on that. But to make handwritten information accessible like that would be great.
Thanks so much for the presentation. I think it was really helpful. One of the things that I wanted to mention as well that some people might find helpful, when you were looking for some of those tools, you can actually pin a lot of those by customizing your ribbons. So if you have tools that you use regularly, instead of having to kind of either search for it up top or dig down through one of the menus to find it, you can customize your ribbon at the top and add whatever shortcuts you use most regularly in. Some people might find that helpful as well.
Yep. Definitely taking the time to customize your environment can help a lot.
Absolutely. And go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that it takes, you almost learn one tool at a time. That's how I do it.
Right, and it's also especially good now that you can sign into your devices with a Microsoft account, and a lot of those preferences will sort of populate to other devices, which is a wonderful way to do things.
Especially if you're sharing a device with somebody. If you're sharing a workspace computer, don't feel that you can't have your own personalized settings with your own profile.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
We have one question that just came in. I'm not sure if you'd like to answer it. It's someone
sure.
saying, would you know if there's a tool is there for students to tape a lecture while in classroom setting and then download to text? Even while using a live scribe pen and sitting in the front row, sometimes recording is still too faint to hear afterwards.
Right. So to be able to, well, there is something coming in OneNote where they've announced it's in beta, and that's captions for like a lecture situation. So watch for that in OneNote. So that was a recording which would then be transcribed to text. Sorry, I don't
Yeah,
see.
that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the chat, not in the questions.
Oh, it's in the chat. Yeah. So there is the Ager, of course, the Ager pen that is going to be doing, well, no, that's really more your handwritten notes going to text. Just trying to think here of what is the best solution for that. Yeah, I know what you mean about picking up the recording. Having a mic that faces the speaker can help. So if you've got a laptop, having an external mic that points towards the professor can help. So Sonocent is a tool that records audio and allows you to take notes, but it is not digitizing to text what the professor is saying. That I think is something that's yet to come, and that's the captioning I think that Microsoft has been working on. So there's captioning now in PowerPoint presentations, and it is coming in OneNote.
Yeah, and I know that now there's which is kind of great as well, is that most of the little portable voice recorders you can buy now, they use digital memory instead of a tape. So if you can find one of those, you can put that on the ask the presenter if you can put that on the lectern, and then there's a number of tools, not unfortunately at the moment Microsoft tools, but that will allow you to basically import that onto your laptop or your computer and then export it to text. So.
Yeah, but they are coming out with captioning in OneNote, so watch for that.
Great, thank you so much.
Okay.
Well, if anyone else has any other questions, I'll be sure to direct them over to you. And of course, this recording webinar will also be recorded, so everyone will be able to follow along at home after the fact. And I'll definitely encourage everyone to reach out to Neil Squire and to Rebecca to see if they have any further need for some additional training. So I understand this is what you guys do. So it's
great, John, and we're always happy to provide support wherever we can. So thank you very much for inviting us to take part in the Fireside Chat for Enable Ottawa. That's great.
Thank you very much for being here.
Okay, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now.